What if I told you Luka Doncic is on a track to become the second youngest international MVP ever? Crazy, right? Luka Doncic is only 24 years old, but he's already one of the best players in the NBA. He's been named to the All-NBA First Team 4 times, and he's pushing to bring the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy back to Dallas. In this video, we'll discuss why Luka Doncic is poised to win the MVP award this upcoming season. We'll also dive into his key competitors and where his team stands, both of which are crucial factors in his MVP bid this season. Trust me, you won't want to miss any part of this video. Luka Doncic's game has reached a new level this season. We're talking about a guy who's been lighting up the scoreboard with at least 30 points in nearly every game. Just wrap your head around these numbers: 32.4 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 8 assists in the 2022-23 season. And because of this maestro, the Mavericks finished the season with the Western Conference's third best offensive rating. But you know what's super interesting? It's not just about points with him. If you've been watching closely, you'd notice he's become a defensive nightmare for the opponents. He's all over the place, getting in those passing lanes, causing turnovers. It's clear that he now uses his basketball IQ to his advantage on the defensive end as well. I don't remember seeing this side of him ever. Doncic will start the 2023-24 NBA season with the most complete game he has ever had. It's like he's evolved or something. Speaking of evolution, remember when he first joined the NBA? A lot of people talked about how he looked, saying that he was a bit bigger than the average NBA guy, and that he wouldn't stand a chance around more athletic players in the NBA. Despite his doubters, Luka had just won the Most Valuable Player and Champion of the EuroLeague, which is pretty much the NBA's biggest rival in terms of basketball quality. It was clear he had the skills. Now he's just improved his game and body even more. Have you seen Luka Doncic's transformation over the past year? It's insane. He shed those extra pounds and hit around 230, which seems to be his sweet spot. It's pretty evident that his weight plays a huge role in his game. He's been around 230 to 240 pounds since he hit the NBA. And any deviation from that and we see a dip in performance. You know the best part? All those whispers and criticisms, especially during those summer breaks when he might have been, enjoying life a little more than he should. The Mavs owner, Mark Cuban, said Luka used all that as fuel. Luka is now stronger, leaner, and faster on his feet. One of the best point guards right now for sure. It's interesting that he's already thinking about the long term at age 24. For example, Steph Curry. No one else probably does as much each season as that guy, but he's still going strong in his mid-30s, all because he stays in great shape. Luka makes almost 60% of his 2-point shots, and he takes about 14 per game. That's so crazy that his rate is higher than that of Shaq, Hakeem, and even Kareem in their prime. It's also clear that teams are afraid to double team him because he excels at passing out of the post, which is why he gets so many chances to shoot. Despite him playing point guard, he's still considered one of the best post players in the league. Impressive, right? Luka certainly has what it takes from a skill perspective to win MVP, but what's stopping him? Though it's clear that he's faster with the ball now, and his defense has also gotten better, but he didn't seem to be in the running because the Dallas Mavericks hadn't done very well in the regular season in recent years, and the Western Conference is very competitive. During the last seasons, Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid have had the nude being the main guy running for MVP. But now that all of them have won it, their focus might shift over at the playoff, and therefore, resting more during the regular season. Another aspect is the voters often being accused of voter fatigue, as the NBA continuously wants to find a new star to promote as the MVP. This might work well for Luka's MVP case this upcoming season. Last season, Luka had an intense usage rate of 37.5%, landing him second among all qualifying players in the league. Many times, the Mavs were leaning heavily on his ridiculous offensive skills, which by the end of the season, clearly wore him out. Now, enter Kyrie Irving into the picture. With him on board, I genuinely believe he'll help ease a lot of that offensive burden Luka's been carrying, reducing that high usage rate. Kyrie's known for having a strong will and playing aggressively, which can be negative, but as he's shown great commitment to the Mavericks and even taken less than a max contract, despite potentially having better offers, shows Kyrie's commitment to this team. Even if he's still getting used to a new system and is having doubtful moments, Remember what Irving said after the February game against the Pacers? He mentioned a conversation with his dad, his biggest supporter, and always his toughest critic. His dad's advice? Stay aggressive and stop overthinking, and boy did he take that to heart, dropping 40 points against Philly in the very next game. It was that game against Philadelphia that really showed how good Luka and Kyrie can be together. The way they alternated as the main ball handler, the times Luka set up screens for Kyrie to create space and relieve pressure. It was magical. Luka ended that game with 42 points, giving us a glimpse of what peak performance from this duo might look like. From the games we've seen so far, it's evident that Kyrie can enhance Luka's game. Their synergy after a full training camp together promises to be something exceptional, rather than a concern about Kyrie overshadowing Luka. Last season was tough for the Mavericks because they had a lot of injuries, bad defense, and issues working together as a team. But they made some big changes to the team over the offseason, and they're hoping that this time around the defense will be better and they'll have more depth. Getting Grant Williams from the Boston Celtics was a smart move by the Mavericks. He can protect in a lot of different ways and shoot well, so he'll be very helpful. For the defense, Williams can cover a lot of different spots, as he both can guard wings but also square up against more heavy players, due to him weighing in at 240 pounds. The Mavericks defense could be better with Grant Williams playing in more than one spot, blocking shots and making space on the court. That's not all. He can help the team as a whole by playing defense with a lot of energy, strong work ethic, and a positive vocal presence in the locker room, leading the young players. On the court, they can also experiment with him as a small ball 5, as they have done with Maxi Kleber in recent years. Moreover, the team have been on the hunt, bringing in some serious talent on the perimeter this offseason. Names like Olivier Maxence Prosper, Derrick Jones Jr., and Seth Curry are now on the roster. Josh Green, who is 22 years old, could also really shine for the Mavericks in the 2023-24 season. He's a good wing player that can defend different spots and shoot the ball well, and has been improving year by year. Grant Williams and Seth Curry, both seasoned sharpshooters, are set to thrive. With Luka in top form, looking to drive and dish out more, these guys are going to find themselves with plenty of open shots. It's an exciting prospect. On the flip side, Prosper and Jones Jr. still have to prove themselves, but with the space that both Luka and Kyrie will create on the floor, they'll likely find more open spots to set and shoot. That's the beauty of having players like Luka and Kyrie on your team. They elevate everyone around them. But here's the thing, it's not just about shooting. The kind of spacing a fit and firing Luka can create on the court is going to be a spectacle. It's expected that the Mavericks might push the tempo a bit more this season, both in transition and even in their half-court sets. With Luka's revamped stamina, he'll be initiating plays faster on the shot clock, catching opponents off balance. For someone as adept as Luka at spotting mismatches and feeding teammates in motion, it's going to lead to some fantastic basketball. Imagine this, if Luka's teammates can convert just 2 more of his passes each game, we might see him averaging a triple-double. And those stats? They significantly boost his MVP credentials. Now about the championships. Luka may not have one yet, but the way he's playing, I'm sure it'll come soon. Because Luka's hunger for a championship with the Mavs is something else. The young star has always dreamt of hoisting that Larry O'Brien trophy for Dallas. What strikes me is his sheer determination. It's what sets him apart and fuels his incredible athleticism. To be honest, won't be a cakewalk for Luka given the competition. But with the revamped roster, more synergy with Kyrie, and a fresh approach to his intense offseason training, I'd say he's as primed as anyone to clinch that MVP title. What a season we have ahead. Does Luka have what it takes to snag the MVP title this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights and updates.